Hello and welcome. I am Joy Chudacoff, and I am going to walk you through this short presentation on how to live an aligned life and find more joy every day. Plus, I'm going to share the 7 triggers that may be holding you back and how to avoid them. Just for those of you who may not know me, you're just getting to know me for the first time. Again, I'm Joy Chudacoff, and I have been an entrepreneur for over 3 decades. Yes, 3 decades. This is I've owned many businesses, and I currently own more than one business, but I have been serving and supporting women to align their businesses and their lives and find more joy every day since it's been for 18 years, since 2005. And I am delighted that you're here because this tells me something about you. This tells me that you are longing to live a deeper life, to have a deeper awareness, to have more of what you're here to do, to make a greater impact, live in abundance, live in gratitude, and find more joy every day. And the first step to finding more joy every day is to get aligned. And I'm going to share with you what that means. And why is it essential to commit to an aligned life? Well, when you're aligned, it means that you are living a life where you're spending time on what matters most. Okay, on what matters most. Most of the time when you talk to people, the average person, just looking out the window here at my home, most people that you talk to, and maybe this is where you're at as well right now, and thankfully you're here, is people are living an 80-20 life. And an 80-20 life for most people means that 80% of the time they're doing all the things that they don't want to be doing, that they don't enjoy, that there is no joy in it for them. It's maybe they've had a career and now it's over. They realize they need to move on. It could be a whole your situation in life. We have seasons of life and they change. You may be in a new season or ready for a new season and not really understanding how to move forward. And so that's why I'm so happy you're here, because when you commit to an essential life, again, the people who aren't living an aligned life, it's 80% of what they don't want to be doing, or they're finished with that season of their life or their business or their career. And 20% is where they're finding joy and spending time on what matters most. But an aligned life is where you're living the 80-20 rule in the opposite direction. 80% of your life is spent in what matters most, in creating the impact you want to make, in spending time enjoying the things that you want to be a part of now. And it's a beautiful thing, knowing that 20% of your time, things are going to go wrong, right? I mean, life happens. Life happens to us all. It happens to you. It happens to me. The car breaks down, the dishwasher's broken, the printer in your office, someone forgot to replace the toner. There's all these things that happen. Maybe an illness, you experience an illness, or someone in your family experiences an illness and they're just now recovering. Maybe you've lost someone. I'm going to talk about that as well in this presentation. So an aligned life is the 80-20 rule, with 80% really designed and aligned to live the life of what matters to you most right now, with knowing 20% is going to go wrong, but that's okay, because when you're aligned in 80% of your life, you can deal. It's much easier to deal with the 20% when things go wrong. So let's take a look at, what does it mean to be aligned, and how do you align? I get that question a lot from women, so I want to answer this right away. There are 3 steps to align, okay? The first step, and it's the one we're really going to dive deep on today, is awareness. It's awareness. It's about having an awareness, and I'm going to share with you more really what the deeper meaning of awareness is in just a moment. But an awareness is having a daily practice, a daily ritual, something that you do every day to help keep that awareness at the forefront, to have a keen awareness of what's going on inside of you. Asking yourself, rather than what's your neighbor doing? What's your competitor in business doing? What's your sister doing or your family? What's going on inside of you? And awareness is something that's really worth spending time on because it's the first step to align. And I'm going to dive deeper into that in just a minute. The second step to align is to ask. Once you start to have awareness about what's going on inside of you, about what matters most to you, about your deeper thoughts, about where you're going right now, you can ask yourself the essential questions. Because if we ask ourselves the essential questions without first having that awareness, we're going to typically get the wrong answer, right? We're going to get the answer that maybe someone else would like us to have. It's all the shoulds in our life, what you should be doing, right? So asking the questions. And then the third step to alignment is to take action, because we can visualize every day. We can dream. We can write our goals down. We can do all these things to think about what matters most to us and what we want to happen next. But we have to take action. And action is where you set yourself up daily in your calendar to take those daily action steps on what matters most to you, to move you closer to the alignment that you want in your life. So that's the 3 steps to align: awareness, ask, and action. And this is what I work privately with and all my clients. And we also have a membership community that we meet weekly. And we're always working on awareness, ask, and action in different aspects of our business and our life. So let's take a look at the definition of awareness. The definition of awareness is the knowledge and understanding that something is happening inside of you. Something's happening inside of you. That's really, really important, and it's really important to do it first thing in the morning. And I'm going to give you some tips later on in this presentation. It's important to start that awareness practice the minute we wake up. And I'm going to give you a quick example that I share with a lot of my clients and community members. When you wake up in the morning, when you woke up this morning or yesterday morning, I'll bet I can guess that you did one of 2 things immediately when you barely had your eyes open. You either A, reached for your cell phone. Well, actually, you reached for your cell phone in both cases. You reached for your cell phone and you did one of 2 things. You either went to scroll social media or you went to look at your emails. Okay. When we go and look at social media before we've even barely opened our eyes or put our feet on the floor when we've woken up, that's like inviting 200 plus people into your bedroom and you don't even really have your eyes open yet. See where I'm going with that? So imagine allowing that to imprint your day. I want to help you create a new imprint on your day. Or if you go to emails, let's take a look at that. I've made this mistake so many times, but I'm really, really getting better. I'm getting so much better at this, and I hope you will too. When you go to your emails from the night before and you look at them, you're taking on the energy of what someone sent you. It could be something amazing, right? You could have just gotten a new client or some just great news about something that's happening in your business. But you could be getting an email from a client or a customer about something that's not right with your service. You could be getting an email from a team member that something's really wrong in your business that you need to take care of. There's an emergency, there's a fire. We've all had those, right? So what you're doing is taking on that energy even before you've put your feet on the floor or gotten, fully awake. So I'm going to invite you, and I'm going to share later on how you can do this, a new way to imprint your day, to start your day, and we'll get into that. Learning to master your mind is essential to an extraordinary quality of life and extraordinary amounts of energy. If you're not feeling a lot of energy right now, or if you've been feeling tired and fatigued, chances are you might just need this awareness practice. Learning to master your mind is essential to align with what matters most to you every day and finding the joy. Here's another reason why you want to align. When you meet people who are full of energy and positivity and seem to have great answers, and you just want to be around them, those are people that are aligned. When you're aligned, you become like a magnet. You become like a magnet for people who want to be close to you, who want to do business with you, who want to be friends with you. That's why this is so important to get aligned. So not only is it for you, but it's for the people around you. You'll start to influence other people when you start living an aligned life. So that's why this is just so very important. But let's talk about the 7 hidden triggers. Maybe you're sitting here and you're thinking, Joy, I love what you're saying. How do I want to be more aligned, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that every morning. But before I do that, I want to talk with you about the 7 hidden triggers that keep us all, that keep you and me from staying aligned and help you move through that. Okay. So what's the first one? The first hidden trigger is fear. Fear is always present in our lives. It's present every moment of every day. And, fear is a natural partner to creativity. You may not know this, but fear is a natural partner to creativity. So let's say your right shoulder, you've got a creative idea. You've got something new that you want to do, right? Let me tell you that the moment you have that creative idea, you got to understand on your left shoulder is fear. Fear's coming right in. Fear is swooping in to say, hey, wait a minute. Is that a good idea? Should you do that right now? I don't know about that, right? So fear is very real, and it's a trigger that keeps us from living an aligned life. Because living an aligned life means that you're going to take action on a dream that you really have, something you want to do to make a greater impact. Maybe it's changes you need to make in your life, but you're fearful of how fear comes in and tells you that you don't want to do that because you don't want to change anything in your life. Keep things the way they are, right? So it's important that you realize that fear is present, but how do we remove that trigger? It's about when you practice that daily awareness, which I'm going to share with you soon how to do that, you'll start to have more faith and belief in yourself. You want to have faith over fear. You want to understand that the fear is always there, acknowledge it and do it anyway. Acknowledge the fear and say, I know you're there. I know you're telling me you're trying to disrupt my new ideas, my new creativity, my new season in life, but I'm going to move forward with faith. And practicing daily awareness helps boost and build your faith. So fear is always going to be there, but we want to feel that fear and want to do it anyway. And I will tell you that all the successful people that I've met, and when I reference the word success, I'm always talking about people who've had success, not only financially, but they have great relationships with friends and family. They take care of their health. They're really trying to be positive and help other people. So that's what I mean by success. They always acknowledge that they're fearful. They always acknowledge that maybe they've had imposter syndrome, but they understand that their vision, their intention is bigger than that fear. I want you to acknowledge what it is you truly want in your life and your business right now and make that bigger than the fear and have faith in yourself. So that's fear. That's the first one. What's the second one? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. I should say lack of forgiveness. How many people in your life right now are you holding a grudge against? Who are you refusing to forgive? I want to tell you something, and this was a hard lesson for me to learn. I had people in my life that I was not forgiving. And do you know who was getting hurt by not forgiving? Me. See, forgiveness is for you and it's for me. It's not for the person who hurt you. It's not for the person who did something to disappoint you. Forgiveness is for you. It's for you. It's so that you can move on. And sometimes, and that's why I chose this image of, a woman in chains. Forgiveness is like chains, and it can hold you down. It can hold you down from being your more aligned self, from finding more joy in the day. I don't want to see you in chains. And had a great friend once who said that, forgiveness is like, eating the poison and wishing the other person ill, right? Because we are living under that shadow, that cloud of not forgiving someone, but the other person, they've moved on. They're not even thinking about the fact that maybe they hurt your feelings or they did something to disappoint you. So I'm going to ask you right now to write down or think about, who is it you need to forgive? And maybe the person you need to forgive is you. Maybe something happened. Maybe there was an incident where you felt like you made a mistake and you're not forgiving yourself. I want you to forgive yourself today in this moment so that you can move on to this aligned life that's waiting for you and find more joy. So think about that. Who do I need to forgive? And write their name down and decide when you're going to do that. And I hope you'll do it today. The next one is grief. Grief. I lost both my parents over a 3-year period. I lost my father in 2017, lost my mother in 2019. And it was very hard. I was close with both my parents. And in between losing my father and my mother, our daughter had just a terrible athletic accident playing basketball for her high school, which caused her to have a full year of 5 days a week physical therapy and 2 surgeries. So that was a very dark period for me. I was really grieving, and I was grieving while running my business, taking care of my family. So I was grieving, but I still was getting on with my family, but I felt the weight of it. And what I want to share with you is it's okay to grieve. And, there's a part of our brain, the hippocampus, that sort of stores trauma, that stores grief, and we hold on to it. And this practice of awareness that I'm going to share with you really helps to move that grief to another part of your brain where you can start to talk about it, where you can process it. I highly suggest grief groups or someone that you can trust, that you can talk with about your grief, and make it into a memory. So it goes from this act of pain and grief into a memory, and have all the memories. I have all these beautiful memories of my parents, with them together and individually. I have a memory of my daughter, what she went through, but also how she came out of it 100%. So I want you to have grief. It's important to go through the process, but make sure you're getting the support you need, and turn that grief into beautiful memories. Guilt. Okay. Do you blame yourself? Are you feeling guilty? This is especially true for women business owners and women entrepreneurs, because we live divided lives, right? We live very divided lives. When we're at work, sometimes we feel like we should be at home with our children. When we are with our children, we think about how the work is piling up and how my team needs me, right? So we're always being pulled, and it's a divided life. But for me personally, I wouldn't have it any other way. I know I have a mission to help more women align and find joy. I know I have this mission, and I know that I want to have a very solid, loving, beautiful relationship with my children and with my husband. So the one thing that I have learned is that it's quality, not quantity, that you spend on business and relationships. Quality, not quantity. So when you're at work, work. When you're running your business, when you're at home, be with your family, and try very much so to make that quality time. Here's the other reason why we want to rid ourselves of guilt. Women aren't built for guilt. Okay, we are not built for guilt. When we carry guilt with us every day, the research shows that it can cause illness. It can cause health concerns. It can cause challenges. It can cause, our physical and emotional well-being to be at risk. So I want you to rid yourself of that guilt and just instead think about, how do I spend quality time when I'm with my family or at work? Do quality time, not quantity, and make the best it can possibly be. Okay. Next, tolerations. Wow, this is a big one. And I would say of all of the 7 triggers, this is the one that probably is really hidden from you, because it was from me. It was really hidden from me. I didn't realize until a few years ago how much the clutter in my maybe my office or in my home was creating chaos in my mind, in my creative thinking, in my decision making. Things you're tolerating, not just in your home, but in your business, in your life. What are you tolerating that you need to let go of? Are you and this image here is about clearing the clutter, getting rid of everything in your life that really doesn't serve you any longer. I know that I'm going through a major purge, and I just continue to do so several times a year, in my home and in my business, because I'm understanding acutely now how that's affecting me being truly aligned with what matters most. So, what are tolerations? Now, here's another toleration. Maybe you're dealing with a relationship that you need to let go of, someone who's really holding you back, someone that you're close with that's not really supporting your big vision. Maybe it's a team member. Maybe there's a team member that's really holding back a certain aspect of your business, but you've just been tolerating it, right? These are things that we really need to stop and look at. What are you tolerating in your business, and what are you tolerating in your life? And what I have my clients do is write down their tolerations and write down a date of when they're going to release, let go, or remove those tolerations. And I'm really going to encourage you to do this for yourself. Judgment or shame, criticism. Wow, this is big, right? This is so big, this judgment and criticism. We're so worried about what everyone else is thinking, right? We're always worried about what if I make that post, or I share that, or I do this, or I take that risk, what's everybody going to say about me? This is one of the biggest things that hold women back, is this judgment and criticism. And I have to say, men just do not deal with this as much as women do. We are a little bit more, affected by it. So I want you to ask yourself, am I holding back because I'm worried about judgment and criticism from my friends, from my family, from my significant other, from my community? Here's what I've learned. You should just go ahead and do whatever it is you want to do, because people are going to talk about you anyway. People are going to talk about you if you play small and you don't take action on your dreams and goals. They're going to find something to say. And you might as well do what you want to do, right? There's a famous Dr. Seuss quote, and right now I don't think I'm getting it right, but I'm going to try. People who mind don't matter, but people who matter don't mind, right? The people in your life who are champions for you, and I want to say right now, that's what you want. You want to make a list of all the people that are close in your life, and you want to make 2 columns, positive champions of me, of my work and everything I do, and not positive. And the people on the not positive, you want to slowly start to back away from those people, because they are affecting you being your next best self, your greatest self. And I want to share something with you. You have another level of greatness within you. You know why I know that for sure? Because I do too. I have room to grow from this day forward, and so do you. You have another level of greatness in you, but I will tell you that to really achieve your greatest level of yourself, your best self, your next level of greatness, you have to surround yourself by champions, and people who champion you, and people who are positive, and people who want to help you. Okay. Very, very important. That's why, I have my aligned private membership community, because everyone's a champion there. So take a look at that. Think about it. Am I triggered by judgment and criticism? What's next? I can't. Lack of confidence. I can't. All right. When you start to work on all the other triggers, all the ones that we just talked about, you will start to have more confidence. You will feel more aligned in your power. Okay. So this I got sort of saved it for the last, because when you start letting go of fear, when you start forgiving yourself and others, when you start letting go of that guilt and removing those tolerations, right? You're going to have more confidence. You're going to build that. And the I can'ts will go away because you're going to start to feel stronger and more powerful in who you are. Okay. So I want to give you ideas to elevate your morning for more alignment and joy. And all of my clients do this, and everyone in our community, we work on this. We meet every Monday morning and do this together as a community to start the week. So what are some ideas to elevate your morning? Now, remember, as I go through this, it's about not picking up the phone and looking at emails or social media. It's about doing this. Okay. So what are some of these? Journaling. You know, journaling is an incredible way to start your day because it allows you to just write about whatever's on your mind and sort of, I sometimes call it a data dump, right? I think Julia Cameron of the Writer's Way, I think that she also does this. I think that's actually where I learned this term. I want to give her credit for that. But a data dump, if you don't know what to write about, then just write about everything you have to do. And what's interesting, if you do that for 5 minutes, somewhere between minute 3 and 5, the deeper awareness, that deeper knowing's going to start to come out. You might write for the first 1 to 2 minutes about, I need to go to the grocery store. I need to get ready for that meeting with a client. I need to make this call. But around minute 3 to 5, if you really stick to it for 5 minutes with no interruptions, you're going to start to get that deeper awareness, which is going to help you be aligned more. Okay. So journaling, stillness. Set your alarm for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Don't look at your phone. Don't answer any messages. Just sit. You could just sit with either your eyes closed or just look out the window at the beautiful sky or the trees, wherever you are, and start to get comfortable with the sound of silence. It is one of the major keys to unlocking this greater awareness. It will also strengthen your intuition. Stillness will strengthen your intuition. You will start to unearth things that have been buried deep in this well of your soul that weren't there before. So it could make your business more profitable, new ideas. It'll make you a better person for the relationships throughout the day, and really great stuff. I want to jump back to journaling and say another free resource that we have are 30 days of journal prompts. So if you're really interested in that, please don't hesitate to reach out to my team to get those 30 journal prompts. And I believe they're also on the homepage of our website, findingjoyeveryday.com. A walking meditation. Maybe you're someone who loves to get out and walk. I know I love to walk. I do my morning walks after I do my stillness and journaling. By the way, what I'm sharing with you, I do this every morning. This is my process. You're learning my process right now. So a walking meditation, get out and, take in that fresh air, breathe and walk. And even if you can only take a 5, 6, 7 minute walk, it's better than nothing. It's getting to move your body. It's pumping the blood to your heart. It's releasing those endorphins into your brain for a better day. So it's just amazing. A sitting meditation. I just want to share with you everything. A sitting meditation. You can also, maybe you're somewhere where the weather's bad. It's raining or it's snowing or whatever. It's cold. A sitting meditation. Just sitting and closing your eyes, for 5 minutes and focusing on an inspirational word, maybe just focusing on the word alignment, focusing on the word joy, focusing on the word gratitude, just for 5 minutes. Again, it starts to really strengthen your awareness, strengthen your mind for more positivity. And last but not least, prayer. If you do pray to whoever and whomever you pray to, it's a wonderful way to start your day. I always start my day in some form of prayer because I'm always looking to a higher power to guide me and to show me the way, to have a greater intuition, to have more positivity, to be who I am for you. You know, I have a goal of helping 1 million women. I'm going to help 100, but then if only 10 of those 100 over a 5-year period help 10 women become aligned and finding joy, we'll have 1 million women in 5 years. And so I need to be my best self every day so that I can go out and do this work in the world. I really hope that you will take these 5 ideas and use them tomorrow morning when you wake up instead of looking at your phone. You're going to see women who do this over a 30-day period find a tremendous difference in their lives, in their creativity, in their positivity, in their health, in their emotional wellness. There's no end to what the benefits are to you doing this. And so I'm so glad you joined me here today. Now, if you'd like to find out more about my Align private membership community, or I work with women in small groups and also privately to align your business and your life, please don't hesitate to reach out to Kathy on my team. You can see her information there, Kathy at smartwomensolutions.com, or you can also call her, text her at 310-266-0416, and she will happily assist you. My team and I are here to support you in your journey to align and find more joy every day. All right. You take care, stay aligned, find the joy, and I hope to see you soon in my membership community, or maybe we can work together privately to help you align more and find more joy. Okay. Be well.